What's happening, man? Um, so having a little trouble with trying to organize my ideas, and by that, not that they're like overwhelming. I'm having too many of them right now. Everything that I've been coming into, or that's been coming into contact with me, I'm having, conversations. Beings are very thankfully recommending stuff. People, Howdy Mikowski. Forgive me, I forget the being's name who sent that to me. It's wild how close our analyzing is, and I don't know. I've this is all constructs and whatnot, and you could say it's like excuse the pandemonium in the background. You could say it's like me trying to explain off the differences in following and whatnot, but it seems to me that he decided to start, documenting his work before me. But this dude has like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that's the only place I've seen him, so he probably has more supporters than that. But like, I really would like to have a conversation with him and see if we can compare notes, or maybe work on a study together or a project potentially, because I think I already made the decision to switch, whatever, careers, vocations, whatever you want to call it. And it seems like he is doing the exact same thing I'm doing. I thought I was the only person doing what I'm doing, or I didn't. My brain was telling me that, but I knew that couldn't be a reality. Because those of us that think this way seem to be all kind of like going in the same direction now, which is beautiful to see, but hard to find. So I've dived into his documentation, and it's very encouraging and thought-provoking. And then on top of that, as I mentioned, I had a conversation earlier that had to do with interactions and phenomena in the experience that create these constructs of the mind. And it's like they become management constructs of your mind that they don't originate from you. So like, family is a good example of one where you're brought up to have certain beliefs and certain kind of governing rules of how you behave and how you view all of this. But if you look back far enough, they didn't feel natural at first. You just got kind of beat over the head with it. And so as you get closer to now, these moments, they have returned to feeling unnatural and oppressive. And so, to give another example, the Love and Light movement, which was another facet even of the conversation, not just another example, but another facet. They are creating jargon. They are creating ideas that return the responsibility of the things that happen to you, meaning you designed this before you entered the experience, or you planned out everything, or this is it's all been crafted by the first to sharpen you into a specific type of being and whatnot. There's all these different variations on it, but the thing that I've noticed is that they're all designed to essentially, in a backhanded way, make you feel responsible and likely guilty or pressured, to be a specific way, or to not notice specific aspects of this experience that are not natural or positive. Uh, Ironically, it's positive positioning, very oppressive positive positioning. If you've ever worked in, specific areas, then you are familiar with positive positioning. It's taking anything and making it sound good, sometimes in a very manipulative fashion. Um, yeah, I don't even, can I consider this to be a talk, like a specific talk? It's almost like I'm gonna have to watch this back over, make notes, and then this is gonna be like a few, at least, videos, I think, because these are specific topics. I can kind of condense a couple of them though, like the family thing with the love and light movement, because they're similar, but they are different things, in a way. Um, the the love and light movement thing, I think, is what I intentionally started this for. But I was listening to Howdy Mikowski right before this, so they're like battling. Those concepts are battling in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how to organize them. I'm gonna go with what's freshest, because the love and light thing, that's ingrained. Because it's almost like you get initiated, or a lot of us do in that way, and then those of us that are like really thinking for ourselves are like, this is church, this isn't good, something's wrong with this. But Howdy Mikowski, man, I started watching a couple videos as recommended by a good brother in the family, and the dude is parroting, not parroting, we're just on the same wavelength, on the same vibe. I'm listening to a video, he's talking about The Good Place. I've talked about The Good Place a good 3 or 4 times in the past few videos. And as he mentions, like, it's not that the entire show is that, but there's a specific twist, a specific changeover that is very, disclosure-y. And I think I've talked about it enough times. If this is your first time watching and you haven't heard me say anything about it, I guess spoiler alert, but whatever, dude. It's an old show. If you didn't watch it, then I'm gonna ruin it, I guess. They think they're in heaven, and then it's revealed to them that they are not. And all of the little inconsistencies and little annoyances and things that have been going wrong in this good place make sense, because they are actually in a sectioned off experimental level of the bad place. So the one who at first presents as an angel, the managing angel of this place, explains that they were trying to come up with a new torture, and that this torture was going to resemble what you would think the good place, heaven, would be, but it would gradually turn into more and more torture. And they were experimenting with how long they could do that, and very specifically torture them without them realizing it even, because they still have the other versions, hell and hellfire, brimstone, and all that bullshit in other versions, all the other versions. But then they reveal to them that all of the beings that work there that were supposedly angels are actually demons, and their characters change up very quickly, or they have counterparts that look just like them that are demons. Very, very specific, and led to a lot of thought-provoking stuff. Now I haven't even rewatched those parts. Just as I'm learning and researching now, it brought me back to that just off memory. And you could call some of this synchronicity, but I do believe it has a lot to do with algorithm and the things that I'm saying out loud. But also there's parts that I just think that are coming back, being recommended. And, you know, obviously I can go off on some possibilities with what that means or what that is. But it's micro, macro, you know. There really isn't an answer. There isn't an end to the research or the pursuit of the quote truth. I don't even think truth is a real concept when it comes to this. It's vast. This is a very vast thing. And I think another aspect of that conversation was me saying, you know, I don't think it's more so proving anything or showing anything. It's more so than that. Just giving examples of the most in-depth version of experiences as you can. So each one that you kind of describe, which they're endless, you know, you're just showing instances of how it all comes back to this experience concept versus like what we've been, you know, kind of ingrained with from birth, that this is, you know, a life. And, you know, if you're religious, all those religious concepts and constructs and you know, those things. But it really is person by person, and the experience itself will kind of pull you towards specific ideas and constructs. But even then, each actual being, each being that weighs 21 grams and is not some other variation like an agent or an you know, NPC, I don't agree with calling other. I think that exists, but I don't think that every being that is not 21 grams is that. That's another thing that Howdy was talking about. It's crazy, man. He's saying a lot of the things that I'm also thinking. It'd be really cool if we could set aside the constructs of like success and progression and notoriety and you know, all that other shit, and just anyone who can pass a specific level of interpretation or research or knowledge or experience, or who can just contribute, could work on a project together, because it's a vast pursuit. And if we all worked together on it and, like, you know, figured out a way to kind of pool our findings together, I think it would go a lot faster, and maybe it wouldn't feel so futile, if that makes sense. I am going to try to reach out. I don't really expect much or anything. If you feel like it, let them know. Let them know that I'm wanting to connect. And if you know anybody else that is of the same mind as me, you know, Howdy. I believe Jay Dreamers is a very good addition to that. There are some of us that I think could really, our work could come together to make something that makes a whole lot of sense. And I don't know about Howdy, but Jay Dreamers and I are not a part of academia. Howdy might be, and that's okay. That doesn't. These constructs don't matter to me. It's more about the work and results. And if you do weigh 21 grams, if you are, you know, experiencing, and if you are having this happen to you and not a part of the doing, you know, meaning what people call NPCs, agents, the different variations like family and movements like Love and Light, or, you know, I don't know, Christianity, Nubianism, however they would say that. I think that you would be included in that group. I do agree with Howdy that it's a very small group. It's a lot. I've said this from the beginning of me making these videos. I don't think that there's many of us. his summation was at most 5%. I think he said, but he thinks it's less, and I would have to agree with that. I would have to concur with that because, just off experience and what you see, what you see, what you experience, what you come across in works, and then disproving those works. Meaning like, oh well, this is completely fake. It was actually written by this person. Like the iteration of the Bible that everyone is currently using. There is a theory that I don't at all discount that that was written by Francis Bacon. Shakespeare also. The Harry Potter lady, I believe, has been a theory that she didn't really write many of her books, if any. There's a few of them, and they all come together to make these big chunks of culture that shape minds, and some of them are very, very slick, and some of them aren't. They're very straightforward and knock you over the head with it. Yeah, I honestly, I've been waiting to do this, but now that I'm doing it, right before right before I hit the button, I was listening to some howdy videos and thinking about those conversations, and now it's just all there within my brain, coexisting, and not fighting with each other, but just like, don't forget about me, don't forget about me. And then there's, the the personal stuff. The personal stuff um, always a hindrance right now. But I don't know. There's one side of me is like go ahead and talk about the love and light stuff. But the other is like, you need to let your brain work all this out. And I think I am going to do that because I can barely even focus at this point. I'm just like, I think what I've said so far is just me trying to like put as much of it here so that I can reference it as possible. I'm not actually going in depth into anything. I'm just putting what I need to hear down so that I don't lose it. And my brain's not letting me go any farther than that. So I think I'm going to listen. And I think I need a break too. My little homie went to a dentist appointment, and side note, all I can think about is them putting fucking fluoride in his mouth, and that makes me upset, both at the fluoride thing being a norm, and at the fact that I am not heard when I say I don't agree with that. Yeah, I'm gonna regroup. Like I said, though, if you dug anything you just heard, hit me up. Or, if you have any recommendations, definitely hit me up. Anything that seems like it goes into, this work. If you're not sure about what this work is, but you heard me say some stuff within this that piqued your interest, go check some other stuff out. And then hit me up if you have anything. Alright, okay, bye.